I just have to not touch this.
Try not to.
I'll try not to panic and start touching anything, you know. Why is it not showing? Oh, there it is. Okay, I started the session. I'm gonna mute our microphone now.
Apologies everyone for the delay, but welcome to Curtin's on-demand regional and interstate webinar. Before we begin, Curtin University acknowledges the traditional owners of the land on which Curtin Perth is located, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. My name is Michelle and I work at Curtin as a Future Student Engagement Coordinator. About 5 years ago, I was in Year 12 and I did all of my schooling in a regional town. I was then lucky enough to get straight into Curtin University and I studied a Bachelor of Commerce majoring in Marketing and Tourism and Hospitality. Curtin gave me fantastic opportunities that led me to be sitting here today. During the session, my colleagues Amy, Maddie and Mitch will be on the chat room, so feel free to ask them any questions you have along the way. Today, we'll talk a little bit about Curtin Perth and some fun facts, as well as going into pathways, applying online, the support services we have at Curtin, and our fantastic Curtin community that you join when you become a student. And we'll hear from admissions, scholarships, accommodation, as well as 2 of our current Curtin students. Today, all of the admission information and pathways will be targeted towards high school students. However, if you are a mature age student looking at studying with us or looking at studying postgraduate studies, please stay on for the first 5 minutes to hear a little bit about Curtin Perth and also how you can study online courses. However, we'll have a mature age and postgrad webinar in the next couple of weeks that will go into detail about the pathways and how to apply. Curtin University is ranked in the top 1% of universities worldwide. We have 5-star status for teaching, research, facilities, employability, internationalisation, inclusiveness and innovation. Our main Curtin campus is located in the suburb of Bentley. It is only about a 15-minute drive by car from the Perth city, and there's a huge range of on-site parking. It is accessible by public transport. We have 2 major bus stations on opposite ends of our campus, as well as if you do choose to reside in a nearby suburb like Como, Vic Park, South Perth, you will have access to our free cab bus services, which is where you just hail a ride and it will take you straight to campus. Curtin is a massive campus. It's around 116 hectares, but I'm a farmer's daughter, so how I understand that is enough land for 464 sheep. At Curtin, all of our courses fall within these 5 faculty areas. We've got health sciences. This is where you find Western Australia's only undergraduate medicine course. We've also got courses like occupational therapy, physiotherapy, nursing. My best friend, she did nursing at Curtin and she had an incredible internship opportunity with the Royal Flying Doctors as a part of her studies. Next, we have business and law. At Curtin, within the business school, we have 2 main degrees that you could look at studying. We've got the Bachelor of Commerce and the Bachelor of Business Administration. The Bachelor of Business Administration works slightly different, where students get to have a little bit of a taste of a wide variety of areas within the commerce world, but it's suited towards someone who's wanting to work in like a managerial position once they graduate. Versus the Bachelor of Commerce, this is where you choose a main specialisation or a major. You could choose up to 2 majors, and the majors, there's a huge variety of them. So everything from whether you're someone who's creative and you want to look at marketing or advertising or public relations, or maybe really analytical, so accounting, finance, maybe really organised, so something like human resource management or management would be suited towards you. We also have an incredible law program at Curtin, and what makes it unique is that the Bachelor of Law can be completed in 3 years via trimesters. The first year is your typical semester format and it's taught on our main campus, but Year 2 and Year 3 is actually taught in the Perth CBD, right near the Supreme and District Courts, and it operates in trimesters, so 3 intensive blocks throughout the year. Next, we've got our Centre for Aboriginal Studies. Within here, they offer specific enabling courses and bachelor's degrees suited towards, targeted towards Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander students. If you're interested in a course from the Centre for Aboriginal Studies, you apply directly to them. Next is our humanities faculty. Now this is a really, really broad faculty and it covers everything from education. So we offer early childhood, primary and secondary, and also a Bachelor of Educational Studies. But we also offer courses like Bachelor of Design, and you could look at things like animation and game design, We've got Bachelor of Arts, so you could major in anything from anthropology and sociology to professional writing and publishing. We've also got architectural science and interior architecture. Next is our science and engineering faculty. So within the science, we've got a Bachelor of Science where you could look at majoring in things like coastal and marine science or agribusiness or even computing or data science. We've also got something really unique called the Bachelor of Advanced Science. And this is suited to students who are interested in potentially going into research once they've completed their bachelor degree. Within the Bachelor of Advanced Science, students work on research projects in their undergraduate studies. And lastly, we've got engineering. Engineering at Curtin can be completed in 4 years full time, and students graduate with 480 hours of professional practical experience. All of our courses can be studied in person on our main campus. However, you might choose to study a bit closer to home. We have campuses all across Western Australia. We've got a campus in Kalgoorlie where our mining students would go and study there. We also offer nursing and commerce. We offer a huge range, and you can find the exact courses we offer at our Kalgoorlie campus on our website. At Northam, at the Maresk Institute, we offer agribusiness. We also offer agribusiness up in Geraldton, but we have an incredible partnership with the University Centre in Western Australia. So what this means is that all Curtin online students, including those who are studying through open universities, are able to access the support and facilities at these locations. And these are in Albany and the Pilbara. Now, not all courses can be studied online, but we have a huge range that can be, and they can be studied directly through Curtin or Open Universities Australia or even edX, depending on what you're studying. You can find out whether your course can be studied online by either asking one of my lovely colleagues in the chat room or going to your course specific page and clicking the location button. At Curtin, as a student, you have incredible opportunities available to you. So for high achieving science and engineering students, we offer an incredible internship to the United States where students participate in a research project with NASA. Our exercise and sports science students, we have a partnership with Hockey Western Australia. Their facilities are located on our campus, and these students work closely with those players, as well as the Fremantle Docker players as well. For our business students, we have a Stanford International Honours Program, where students have the opportunity to go to the United States to study at Stanford University for 6 to 8 weeks and look at innovative solutions to world-changing ideas here. A lot of these students actually meet incredible business people, and these include people like the co-founder of Tesla or even the first employees of Google. And lastly, when you do visit our campus, it is incredibly alive. And one of my favorite things is within the first semester, students in interior architecture, they actually participate in something called Sandy Texture. And this is where they build sandcastle sculptures. So they'll do things like the mock Taj Mahal, Sydney Harbour bridges. You can see an example on the screen here. And it's incredible, and I'd highly recommend checking it out when you do come and study with us. At Curtin, the most direct entry pathway is the ATAR pathway. This stands for Australian Tertiary Admissions Ranking. In order to enter Curtin via the ATAR pathway, you need to achieve 4 things. You need to have your WACE, your Western Australian Certificate of Education, or equivalent, depending on which state you reside in. You need to have an ATAR score or ranking, and now this is determined by your best 4 ATAR subjects. You need to have successfully completed any specific prerequisite subjects required for your desired course, as well as met our English language competency. English language competency at Curtin is met by receiving a scaled score of 50% or above in either ATAR English Lit, or ATAR English as an additional language or dialect. ATAR is not the only way, and we do have a huge range of pathways for students who may not be doing ATAR or have not met the minimum admission requirement of 70. So we have diplomas at Curtin. We have our own Curtin College on campus that do diplomas, and their stage 2 diplomas actually map a first year of an undergraduate degree. So what this means, after successful completion of your stage 2 diploma, you'll actually enter a second year of a specific bachelor's degree. Now this is dependent on which course you are hoping to get into. We also accept diplomas from any AQF providers. So this is things like TAFE, But we also have something called a portfolio entry. So maybe you're a student who is, studying a few ATAR subjects and a certificate. This is a great option for you. We also have something called the Uni Ready or an Indigenous Enabling Program. These run in 1 semester in duration. After successful completion, you're awarded a notional ATAR of 70 and can apply to courses that way. If you have successfully completed a certificate 4 and meet our English language competency, you'll be awarded a notional ATAR of 70 and can apply to courses here. And if you don't meet our English language competency, you will need to sit something called the STAT test, just the written English section only of the STAT, and this will meet our English language competency. Now, if something happens and you don't obtain a high enough ATAR for a course that requires a higher ATAR, or you don't meet or you don't currently studying a subject prerequisite, there's something called curtain course switching. And this is where you use a course that has a lower ATAR entry requirement or a course that allows you to study that ATAR subject at a university level, and you use that course to a course switch into a course with higher ATAR entry requirements or with a specific prerequisite subject. And we are here to help, so we have an incredible range of support services for you. We've got a team that will help you find a part-time job on campus. They'll proofread your resumes. We understand that moving away from home can be really daunting, so we've got an incredible student wellbeing team that offer counselling and guidance. We've also got a doctor on our campus, and we also have a tax-free clinic. The biggest difference between high school and university is you do need to actively go out and seek those support services, but we've got a big building called Curtin Connect on our campus that you can go to. It's a one-stop shop for absolutely everything you need. And when you become a Curtin student, you join our Curtin community, and we've got over 100 clubs you can join. We've got social sports you can get involved with. All new to Curtin students actually will receive a mentor in your first semester. And these mentors, you can go to them for absolutely any questions you have. They'll become like your best friends. Unfortunately, university is not free, so we do have a huge range of potential costs. So our tuition fees at Curtin are set by the by the government, and you can find out the different contribution bands on the Study Assist website. I've listed on the screen here a huge range of other potential costs you might incur, but please know we do have a huge range of scholarships that will cover these costs, that will help cover these costs. So we are always here to help, but I'm going to pass it across now to Kelvin from admissions, and his lovely colleague, Tammy, is on the chats. Kelvin?
Thanks, Michelle. Hello, everyone. My name is Kelvin, and I will talk a little bit more about admission at Curtin. And in our chat room, we also have Tammy, who will be answering your question regarding to any question about admission. Now, if you want to apply to Curtin, you will have to submit an application through the TIS website. Now, in terms of applying through TIS, when I say TIS, it's actually Tertiary Institute Service Center. Now, when you apply through TIS, you actually do not need to pay for any fees. And when you apply through TIS, you actually get 6 preference. Now, before I move on to a little bit more about the preference, in TIS website, it actually contains some more information about important dates. So it talks about closing dates for application and when you can actually rearrange your preferences, when you actually know your when is the main round of offer and when is the second round of offer. Now, moving along, now talking about preferences, we generally recommend for you to have the course that you really want to study as your first preference, and then your backup courses as your lower preference. So the screen shows a little bit more like how is just an example for someone who wants to study a nursing course at Curtin. You may also heard about early offers at Curtin. So for you, you might think about how for you to get an early offers. Now, for you to get an early offers at Curtin, you have to submit a TIS application with Curtin courses as a first preference. And then admission office will assess your application, and your predicted ATAR must have the minimum course ATAR requirement. If your course actually has any prerequisite, you actually have to study the course prerequisite. So you are on the way to actually meet that course prerequisite. Now, please note that this early offers is conditional, and by the time that you receive your final result, you still have to meet the course required ATAR. the English requirement for Curtin over the course, and the subject prerequisite. Now, if you actually apply for an early offer and you receive an offer, you can actually accept the offer before your result come out. Now, please note that not all courses is available for early offer. Courses with limited places or very competitive, that is very competitive. Uni-ready enabling program and portfolio entry courses is not available through early offers. Now, if you are thinking about deferring your, after you receive your offer, you can do so. Now, please note that deferral is only for a default period of 12 months, and you may receive an offer to commence the course mid-year if the course have places available and for you to commence in second semester. Now, please note that you will have to meet your offer condition in order for you to defer your offer. So you have to have met the condition. Let's say you're a year 12 student, you actually have to meet the condition of your early offers before you can actually defer your offer. And for students who planning to study the Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, please note that your deferral will be subject to school approval. You have to go through a certain approval process for that. Now, if you have any more question about applying at Curtin, or you're not really sure in terms of how to apply, you can actually contact admission office through the 1300 222 888 number, or you can submit a web form on the web page. Pass the time back to Michelle.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. And we now have up next the lovely Alison from Scholarships.
Hi, I'm Alison. I'm from the Scholarships Office at Curtin University. Just grab my microphone. Yeah, just to welcome you to Scholarships and say there's a great team in the Scholarships Office that can give you one-on-one advice as to what scholarships might be pertaining to you. So what we do is we encourage people to go to our scholarships website, and we'll find there's a great breadth of information there. So you can select particularly regional scholarship if that's pertaining to you. There's also, we do say that the best thing is to get online as quickly as possible and have a look and see which ones might meet the criteria that you need. So there are financial scholarships, and there's also academic scholarships, which you might be interested in. There's John Curtin, which is a purely academic scholarship. So that's the top 5%. It's really competitive, but we encourage everyone to get online and have a look, and that closes on the 29th of September. I'll just click that on. Yeah. And there's also a Curtin Principals recommendations, so you might want to get along and talk to your principal about that. Curtin Excellence, which is another pure academic scholarship, and that's based on an ATAR of greater than 96, and that's awarded automatically after you get an offer from Curtin University. But we'd really encourage you to have a look at our website because we have 9 scholarships that pertain to regional and rural students. So there's some great information there. We also have a number of equity scholarships, which is for people in financial need. There are scholarships that can help you with your move to Perth. There's also scholarships that can help with housing if you choose to stay on campus. But what I'd really like to put through to you, if you're watching this at the moment, is to get online and have a look. There is a scholarships office, so you can call us and talk through. And if you have problems with your application, you can also give us a ring, and we'll check your application to see if it's okay, if you need any help or anything like that. Yeah, so that's really about it from scholarships. I'm just going to leave you with our website and encourage you to get online and have a look. Thank you. There we go.
Thank you so much, Alison. And next up, we have a bit of an icon on the On Demand series. And we've got the lovely Andrew here from Housing. He's dressed up for you all as well.
Thank you, Michelle. Yes, welcome to Curtin's regional and interstate parents, students and friends. My name's Andrew and I'll give you some important accommodation information for next year. But before we start, I can tell you if you're a regional or interstate student joining us for 2022, it'll be the best year ever to join us and live on campus. And the range and availability will be the best we've ever offered in the history of Curtin. And regional and interstate students also get an accommodation guarantee. So if you're one of those students and want to live on campus, you will be able to. We've got a whole lot of brand new facilities that are being completed, and they're integrated with a whole lot of other facilities that are being built as well. There's a new retail precinct, there's a hotel, there's a new design school, and all of that's connected with a new accommodation in the same area. There's a new college, first time in Curtin's history that will have a catered college, that's St Catherine's. We've got Twin Dolphin Hall, which is a brand new halls of residence as well. And we've got some straight out apartments too. So a whole lot of new stuff that you, starting with us next year, will be the first ones to take advantage of. And of course, we've got all the existing accommodation as well that we still have, most of which is you get your own room in a big apartment, and that includes Wi-Fi, includes utilities, parking is free there as well. And we have that accommodation as well as in Kalgoorlie. The Kalgoorlie campus was mentioned before. We have accommodation there too for our mining and mining related course students that go there. Agricola student accommodation is very nice. I've stayed there myself, it's really good. Before I get into the details and the prices, I'd just like to tell you why we think it's important that a student does live on campus. It's the number one reason, I guess, is that students who live on campus tend to do better academically. So that's a pretty strong reason. But we want students who live on campus to be part of the community of the residents and of the university. You may have friends that you'll have for your whole lives that you meet living on campus, and you also will have contacts for your professional careers after you leave Curtin all over the world. And while you will be within 2 to 10 minute walk in classes, the convenience is not the real reason, not the main reason for living there. We want you to be part of that community and use the on-campus accommodation as part of your success as a student. So in detail of what we've got coming up for next year, as I said, at St Catherine's College, which is fully catered for first years. That will mean 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. But the college is not just a place to stay. They want to invest in your success as a student and in your career as well. So they run things like leadership programs, and there's tutoring, the entrepreneurial groups. They want you to be successful in your studies and later. The new halls of residence are called Twin Dolphin Hall, and it's more independent living and self-catered. A lot of that is you get your own room in an apartment as well. We've got 2, 4 and 6 bedroom apartments there. And we also have a large number of self-contained studios as well for single people. We've got apartments as well, part of this huge new development. These will be available as pretty much straight rentals, and they'll be available to staff, students with families and other members of the community as well. And there's a hotel right on the centre of campus, which we've been waiting for about 20 years. So we're really, really excited. Okay, there's a lot of different offerings and a lot of different options. So I'll just give you a sort of broad range of what the prices are for the established accommodation somewhere, and these prices haven't been set yet. Somewhere around $180 a week to about $240 a week will get you a room in our established accommodation with all the benefits I've mentioned before. Twin Dolphin Hall with a self-catered independent living, a room in one of the apartments there, somewhere around the $280 a week mark, and with the self-contained studios around $380, somewhere around there. For St Catherine's College, as I said, fully catered for first years, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. It'll be around the $500 a week mark. So those are, there's a lot of different options. You might want to contact us directly and have a talk about what your needs are. Only other thing I'd like to say is that we expect to get the keys, the handover from the builders on the 31st of October, and we will be ready to give tours all through November, straight off, as soon as we can. So if you're in Perth or can be in Perth for November onwards, we'll be really, really proud to show you these fantastic new facilities. Any questions, you can put them in the chat for us here tonight, or you can contact us or give us a call and we will have a chat in detail about what your requirements are. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. You've made me want to go back to university and live in accommodation. But now who better to hear from about student life is than two of our current Curtin students. So I have with me today lovely Claire, who is here from Denmark, and also Jessica, who lived in Melbourne for a while, but also has come from down south in Western Australia. Guys, so I just wanted to ask you to start off with, what are you currently studying?
Hi, so I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Advanced Science, majoring in chemistry. I'm currently in my 3rd year, heading into my honours year next year.
I'm studying coastal and marine science, and I'm currently in my 2nd year, 1st semester.
And how is your Curtin student experience?
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I've been involved with a lot of like clubs and sports, which really added to my experience here at Curtin. There's obviously been some challenges and things with what I've been studying, but pushing through that, and I've got a lot of support with friends and stuff, which has made it really good.
I've really enjoyed my almost 2 years at Curtin. I really like going onto campus. I have a lot of labs, so I get a lot of hands-on experience, you know, in lab coats and pipetting stuff. And we also have a lot of not a lot of field work, but the other day we got to go to like Kent Street Weir to go sample some water and like analyze it. So that was really cool. And then I think next year we get to go to Rottnest Island and do some cool work there as well.
And do you have any advice for future students thinking about studying at Curtin?
Yeah, probably the best bit of advice I can give is just be involved with the Curtin life. We've got lots of clubs, lots of social sports available there, and it just really like adds to your experience and provides different friend groups for you.
This one's kind of an obvious one, but I would just say to keep up with your lectures and your assignments and everything. I've made many mistakes in doing everything last minute, and it's just way too stressful, especially doing like 4 units and stuff. So I would recommend watching your lectures when you need to watch them and doing your assignments like a week or two, well, probably best like 2 weeks before it's actually due. Yeah.
Thank you. And that's all the questions I had for you guys. But I know my lovely colleague, Maddie, she's been taking questions down for the audience, and she's just going to ask us now.
Hi, Michelle, Claire, and Jessica. Thank you so much. Claire, I know you've lived on campus before, so can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, of course. So I lived at Guild House, just across the road from Curtin Stadium there. It was super handy, again, as was said before, just a quick walk to my classes and to my labs down there. And it was really good. And that's where I met a few of my current housemates as well. So you just make lots of friends there, and even like housing opportunities in the future.
Thank you. And Jessica, you lived over east, is that correct, before relocating to Perth? Can you tell us about the transition with that?
It was interesting. Melbourne's a lot bigger. I did my gap year in Melbourne, so I was just working there, and then I decided I need to go to uni, so I came back to Perth. It wasn't really too much of a difference, but from Busselton to Melbourne and then to Perth, that was kind of all over the place. So yeah, but it's been good. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. And the next question is for both ladies. What did you experience about Curtin that you didn't expect?
I think something I didn't expect was that I kind of like met lots of different people, and everyone's really lovely. Like coming from a small country town, like you know everyone, everyone's like really good friends. And then coming to the big city, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go know anyone, and it's gonna be really hard to make friends. But everyone was really lovely, and I made a pretty solid friend group that we're all still like hanging out today, getting to classes together, making sure we all have the same timetable, kind of thing. Yeah.
I would say I didn't expect like most of my unit coordinators to be so passionate about what they're teaching. When I used to think about, I'd be like, oh, like just boring lecturers, but they're like almost every single one of my unit coordinators are just so passionate about what they teach, and it makes it interesting as well. So I actually enjoy learning.
Excellent. And what is both of your favorite things about your curtain?
I like I already kind of said, I like the hands-on experience because I get like a lot of the field work and the lab work, which means I can do, well, I'm experienced in both areas of, being in a lab, but also going out to the field and sampling the water or stuff like that.
Yeah, probably the best part of my experience so far is with the advanced science degree, we get a couple of extra units where we get to do some research projects early on, and that has really like elevated my learning and like the experience in the lab as well. Has been really interesting.
And do either of you have ideas of what you're keen to go into for a career after you've graduated yet?
For me, not a specific job, but the areas that I enjoy are like environmental and sustainability sides of chemistry. So anywhere in that, it would be my goal, basically.
I don't like it when people ask me these questions because I always go, oh, I have no idea. But I think I would probably go into like pollution control because I do want to make a difference in the environment, especially in the marine life. So something towards that area.
And just the last question, what do you think is the main skill that your curtain course has helped you work towards or work on during your time at Curtin?
Time management. You don't really realize how much work you have to do until you're like in uni. But yeah, I think I have worked a lot on my time management, especially with the content that we learn in the units that I do. So yeah.
No, I wish I could say my time management would be the one, but I'm still working on that one. Probably like specific skills to my degree, like using stuff in the lab or researching would be like my main ones that I've been working on. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's been lovely having you here and talking with you guys and hearing all about your fantastic student experiences that you're having. And I wish you all the best. And I know I'm going to see you soon. But yeah, good luck and thank you. But next, I'm going to invite back my lovely colleagues who you heard with just before. So we've got Kelvin, Alison, and Andrew. They'll just be coming back, and Maddie's going to stay on board and ask us more questions that you guys have posted in the chat rooms. But keep posting away as Mitch and Amy are there, and as well as Tammy to answer all of your questions.
Okay, so we've got Andrew first up. So Andrew, can you please talk about the accommodation guarantee for regional and remote and the housing bursary?
Okay, so we've decided to give a guarantee of accommodation to interstate and internationals as well, depending how they get here. And that means that if you want to live on campus, you will be able to if you apply. So that's basically it. So if you're a particular regional student and you want to live on campus and you apply early enough, you will be able to. As far as the bursary goes, there are a lot of support for accommodation that come up through scholarships and bursaries and other subsidies as well. And there will be more coming that will be announced later in the year. So you really need to watch out for the scholarships page. If you put your name down for expression of interest for accommodation, then you'll also be informed of any new financial support that comes up.
Thank you, Andrew. And are only expressions of interest open at the moment? Can you apply?
They are going to be really soon. really, really soon. The final prices are yet to be set, and the applications will be open within a short amount of time, we hope. So, but you can put your name down, which is a pre-application, which gets you in there to be able to receive all the information that's coming. Any new photo, any new prices, anything will come out through that.
Excellent. And the last question for you, Andrew, you may have touched on it before, but just as a reminder, how can you get to see the new accommodation?
Okay,
when
so
it's
yeah,
ready?
we're really keen to show, and we want to start doing it as soon as we get the keys, basically and we're still expecting that will be 31st of October. So particularly regional students, if you're going to be in Perth or can be during November, let's check with us first and we'll arrange a time, and then you'll be able to see everything, the existing, the new accommodation, the hotel, everything.
Thank you, Andrew. Potentially a question for Michelle now. What happens if I travel to WA?
So currently Curtin University and in the future, we're adhering to all government regulations. So you can find out the most up-to-date information about travel into Western Australia on the government website. But if you are thinking about potentially studying online, I mentioned before that if you click on location on your specific study page, it'll tell you whether you can study your course online.
Excellent. And for those ATAR students or those high school leavers who aren't currently studying an ATAR subject that's required for their course, can they still get into their course eventually?
Yes, so if a student is not currently studying an ATAR subject that is a prerequisite requirement, they could use a course. So for example, with the engineering, it requires one ATAR subject of math methods. They could use the course multidisciplinary science to study that math methods ATAR level equivalent. Do that course for 6 months. They require a certain course weighted average, and then they're eligible to apply to course switch into engineering in that case example. So there are huge alternative options for you, but I'd really advise giving us a call or asking our chat room what ATAR subjects you aren't currently studying, so we can best advise what course would be best for you or what is your best option going forward.
And with regards to course switching, is it allowed for medicine, the Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery?
So yes, it is allowed. However, it is incredibly competitive. And what we would typically advise students is to actually take a gap year off and resit their UCAT test. There is a statistic that students, the second time they do their UCAT, they statistically do better, and reapply after taking the gap year, as students will remain in what is known as a high school leaver category. And there's 3 categories you could enter in. So there's high school leaver, a mature age applicant, or a Curtin course switcher. Now, our Curtin Medicine program does target the high school leaver category, so majority of places go to high school leaver students. You don't become a Curtin course switcher unless you start studying a course, or if you study in another tertiary institution, you will no longer be in the high school leaver category. So to give yourself the best chance or the best percentage would be to remain in that high school leaver category, take a gap year, your ATAR doesn't expire, you reuse your ATAR, you sit your UCAT, and then you potentially could get an interview, and then those 3 factors will determine whether you get a place.
Thank you, Michelle. A question for Kelvin from admissions. When can we expect to get our offers for next year?
Yes. So if you're actually applying for early offers, admission office will endeavor to have it processed with by 7 working days, and then try to get back to you. So my encouragement for those of you who want to apply for early offers at Curtin, please do so, because you might we will get an outcome pretty soon. Now, if you apply for courses like what I mentioned just now, whereby it's not part of the early offers, you will only get your outcome when the main round of offers or the second round of offers result come out. So that's if you want to know more, I would suggest you to refer to TIS website. There will be under important dates. They will actually tell you when is the date.
Thank you, Kelvin. And just to finish up, a few questions, please, for Alison. So are all of the undergraduate courses eligible for the John Curtin Scholarship?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Excellent. And how can I apply for the Curtin Excellence Scholarship?
Okay, so you can go on to our scholarships website, but the Curtin Excellence is actually an academic one that is offered based on your ATAR, so that you don't actually have to apply for that.
And what will happen if a applicant is awarded 2 scholarships? Is that possible?
That does happen, and the candidate gets to choose the one that suits them the best.
If they're both of different values, is it possible that they're able to get one of a higher value?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Excellent. And just really a last question to the whole panel, given we are talking to regional and interstate students tonight, what is your favourite thing about Perth?
Beaches and Kings Park.
I was about to say Kings Park too, but I think Kings Park and also the people. I think everyone here in Perth is very kind, very lovely. That's what I like about Perth.
Now they're all taken now. Coming back to Perth after travelling, which you haven't been able to do for a while, it's always wonderful to see how clear the skies are, how bright and light is, and how clean the air is. And that's one of the things I really like about it.
I agree with them all. Perth is an incredible place to visit, and even traveling further Western Australia. If you do get to study with us here, you do have tuition-free weeks and breaks, and please experience wider Western Australia. We've got the most incredible scenery, I think, in the entire world. You definitely won't regret it, and the people here make it. Everyone is just so lovely and so personable, and everyone here wants to help you. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening tonight, and we hope you find this really, really valuable. The chat room will be open for the next 30 minutes or so, so please continue asking any questions. But if you think of a question later, you can always send us an email or give our 1300 222 888 number a call. But thank you so much, and have a lovely night.